Hello and welcome back to another book look video. This is video 2 for this school year, and today I want to talk a little bit about the library before I go into the new books I'm going to show you. So first quarter ended last Wednesday, which means we are now officially in second quarter, and what that means with library checkouts is that if you have any books overdue from first quarter, now is the time where you have to return them, or if they're lost, you have to pay for them before you can check out any new books, and that is per handbook guidelines. So I've been talking to some of you, and I've been calling some of you down, and you're aware of that, but I just kind of wanted to address that while I'm talking to all of you at once. So if you are on the overdue list, if you don't know if you're on the overdue list or not, you don't know when your book was due, you know you've lost it, but you don't know how much it's going to be to pay for a replacement, then please come see me, or you can even email me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. That way you can start checking books back out again. Okay, so in the first book look video, I showed you guys new books that were considered scary or spooky. And today I'm going to show you some new books that I like to call books for reluctant readers. And so if you are a reluctant reader, it means that reading is not really your thing. It's not maybe what you would choose to do, but if you have the right book, you do become excited and you are willing to do it. It's just kind of got to drag you into it. So the first few I'm going to show you are going to be some reluctant reader books for people that like to hunt, fish, or enjoy the outdoors. So the first 5 I have come from a series, and the series is called Guides to Responsible Hunting, and there's 5 different topics. So if you love hunting books, then get excited. The first one is Preparing and Enjoying a Meal You Hunted. The second one is Tracking and Hunting Your Prey. Third, we have Preparing for Your Hunting Trip. Hunting Arms. And Hunting Safety, Licensing, and Rules. So these are some really good nonfiction books for those of you that like to read about hunting and fishing. I will say that some of the other hunting series that we have in the library are they're very thin, small books, and you can read them really quickly, and a lot of times they don't last you long enough. So these are slightly longer. So if you're looking kind of at the pages here, there's more text on each page, plus the text itself is a little bit smaller. So I think these are a good step up for those of you that have already read all of the hunting and fishing books like multiple times. There are about 70 pages, 60 to 70 pages in each one of these. So this could take you, a couple of class periods to read. If you guys are doing like 20 minutes of silent reading time, this might last you 2 or 3 classes. So if you are interested in these, come check them out. They will be over with all the other hunting and fishing books. I have 2 more. These are some different types of fishing books. So there's a series called Fishing Tips and Techniques. I couldn't buy all of the books in that series, but I did pick up Bow Fishing and Fishing in Lakes and Ponds. So again, I think these have a little bit more text on them than some of the other fishing books that are currently in the library. So I think that these will be good for those of you that like to read these. The next books that a lot of reluctant readers like to read are graphic novels. Everybody loves graphic novels. So I picked up some new ones for us. So the first graphic novel books I'm going to show you, it's a 2-book series called Jellaby. Book 1 is Jellaby the Lost Monster, and book 2 is Jellaby Monster in the City. And Jellaby is this cutie McCute little purple dragon monster here. So he's kind of the main character. I would say if you are a fan of Amulet, you would probably enjoy these Jellaby books. Kind of fantasy, fantasy meets realistic situations, friendship, those types of themes. So again, those are the Jellaby graphic novels. I also got a Calvin and Hobbes comic book, just kind of wanting something a little bit more like traditional or classic. We have one Calvin and Hobbes book, and there's like a snowman on it. I think it's like When Monsters Attack. So this is just another book in that series. And these are by Bill Watterson. If you've read all the books on the graphic novel shelf, you know that the Stickman Odyssey is a pretty popular book by Christopher Ford. I actually ordered a replacement copy of book 1, which is just the Stickman Odyssey, because it has been read so many times. Like the cover is getting all faded and it's kind of hard to even tell what it's about. So I ordered a brand new replacement for book 1, which I've already checked out. And then I also got the sequel to the Stickman Odyssey, which is called The Wrath of Zosimos. So if you haven't read Stickman Odyssey, it's a graphic novel that I think they kind of took Homer's Odyssey and kind of modernized it, but then also it's their own characters, so we don't have like the same characters from Homer's Odyssey. It's kind of like a remake or a spin on it. And the first Stickman book has been really popular, so I'm hoping that everybody that's read book 1 will want to read book 2. New by Raina Telgemeier is Guts. So she's probably the most popular graphic novel author that we have. Sisters, Smile, Ghosts. So her newest edition here is Guts, and this is a little bit autobiographical. She had her own struggle with anxiety and being nervous to the point where it made her sick whenever she was a teen. And so she kind of took that story and told it, and that is why it is called Guts. So I bought 2 copies of this. It's already been circulating. I actually kept this one pulled out today because I want to read it. So Guts by Raina Telgemeier. I also purchased a series, and the entire series, that is called Lumberjanes. And this is a collaboration between 2 or 3 different authors. And in Lumberjanes, the plot revolves around a group of girls spending summer at a scout camp and the strange creatures and supernatural phenomena they encounter there. So there's 10 books all together. And I'll just kind of go through them. I actually checked book 1 out to somebody because they were wanting to read it so badly. But book 1 is called Beware the Kitten Holy. And then book 2 is Friendship to the Max. Book 3 is A Terrible Plan. Book 4, Out of Time. Book 5, Band Together. Book 6, Sink or Swim. Book 7, A Bird's Eye View. Book 8, Stone Cold. Book 9, On a Roll. And book 10, Parents' Day. So there are 10 in this series. I would recommend reading them in order, and hopefully you guys are excited about these. One last graphic novel by an author that I do not have any other books by. His name is Sean Rubin, and this book is Bolivar. And it's kind of a bigger book. It's a little, you know, kind of more clunkier, like an odd shape. But it looks really cute. I've skimmed through it, but I haven't read it entirely. But basically, it's about a young child living in New York City, and her neighbor is Bolivar, but Bolivar is a dinosaur. So you get to kind of read about this girl in New York City and her neighbor Bolivar the dinosaur, and Bolivar has to make a tough decision, and Sybil kind of helps him with that decision as they become unlikely friends. This book is really graphic heavy. There's not as much text as some graphic novels, so you're really going to be reading the pictures in this book. And then last up, when everybody hears about poetry, I think that on the inside they're kind of like, poetry. But poetry can be so much fun, and I know for sure that a lot of you really enjoy Shel Silverstein. So I have some of his books already in the library: Where the Sidewalk Ends, A Light in the Attic, Don't Bump the Glump, and we now have another one, and this is Everything on It by Shel Silverstein. We also have Falling Up. So if you enjoy Shel Silverstein's crazy funny poems, then you should come check it out. And it's kind of typical Shel Silverstein style. So if you're interested in that, we have that too. And this will be over in our poetry section, which is around like the 811s, 812s. So those are what I would call my new books for reluctant readers. So if any of those sounded good to you, I hope you come and visit me or ask to place a hold on them, because they are ready to go. And I will see you guys soon in my next video. All right, bye.